Hey folks, it's Cement once again, and like I said in my Survivor Series 1987 video, I already did a year ago like a little series of videos talking about Survivor Series, just going through each one. But again, I figured for continuity's sake, I would at least bring up Survivor Series 1988, the second Survivor Series. And the matches, getting right into it, you had... Actually, maybe before that, a little bit of where we're at in WWF at the time. Um, It was the year of the Mega Powers. Of course, WrestleMania 4, Hulk Hogan pretty much helped Randy Savage win the championship, which, like I said, WrestleMania 4, that was kind of a crappy thing, to be honest. But again, maybe that was the big storyline. Maybe they had it planned from the get-go. But they didn't really use that part of it. They just used the Miss Elizabeth part of it. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. They didn't really use the whole, well, I helped you win, Macho Man, and, who hit the chair on DiBiase. They didn't really, I don't remember them using that for the angle. They just the Miss Elizabeth. So anyway, of course, SummerSlam, they won a big match. Again, a fun match at SummerSlam. I really enjoyed. And so the Mega Powers are still big into the Survivor Series, where they went up against a team captained by the Twin Towers. I know it's a weird name for it, but this is 88, folks. A team who was before the one-man gang, and the Big Boss Man, who, I mean, like I said in my SummerSlam video, I really enjoyed the Big Boss Man. Really enjoyed him, whether it's a good guy or a bad guy. At this point, he was a bad guy. Just really enjoyed him. Loved his look. Loved his personality. Once in a while, he pulled a move that ooh, wow, that's pretty cool for a big man. Loved his Big Boss slam. Just, again, really enjoyed the Big Boss Man. Thought that was a great character and really missed the guy. But, and of course, Ultimate Warrior at SummerSlam became the Intercontinental Champion and beat the Honky Tonk Man. So now we get into Survivor Series 1988. The first match is the Ultimate Warrior, Brutus Beefcake, Sam Houston, the Blue Blazer, aka Owen Hart, and Jim Brunzell versus the Honky Tonk Man, Ron Bass, Dangerous Danny Davis, Great Valentine, and Bad News Brown. Fun match. Probably my favorite match of the night. Kind of like the first WrestleMania. WrestleMania. The first Survivor Series. That was the first match was my favorite match. This as well. Ultimate Warrior didn't get to do much until the end, which was a shame. But Bruce Beefcake gave a sleeper to Danny Davis. But Jim Brunzell, Bad News Brown gives him the Ghetto Blaster, which is pretty much Bad News Brown putting both his legs up and hitting the guy on the back of the head. Great Valentine accidentally hits his teammate Bad News Brown. Bad News Brown was a character who was a loner, so he's like, fuck this, and walks away and gets counted out. That's part of his character. He didn't want to get pinned, pretty much. Sam Houston gets pinned by Ron Bass. I think if I were Power Slam. Ultimate Warrior had some fun stuff. He took Owen Hart and threw him on top of who was it? I think he body slammed Ron Bass and then took the Blue Blazer Owen Hart and threw him on top of Ron Bass. That was a fun moment. But the Blazer loses from a figure 4. And I want to make sure the... Yeah, this was the part that I didn't care for. Brutus Beefcake and the Honky Tonk Man, they lost from a double count out because Beefcake applied a sleeper hold to Honky Tonk outside of the ring. And I hate double countouts, and I hate double disqualifications. I think that's lame. I think that's cheap. You know, people are paying for a pay-per-view, and you get, you know, 2 people out just like that. I hate double DQs. I hate double countouts. I hate that shit. I know it's all fake. I know that. But even as a storyline portion, I hate that. So now that's left is Ultimate Warrior versus Ron Bass and Great Valentine. And I thought the Warrior beat these guys a little bit too easily. I think there could have been a bit more that could have been done. It's pretty much they're beating up on Warrior, and Warrior does a double axe handle. One guy pins him, and another guy pins him. 1, 2, 3. I feel it was a bit too easy. It should have been a bit more. And maybe Warrior like body slams them both. You know, maybe he does his move, and then the splash. Like a little bit more. Like you do double axe handle, and then pick them up, and then splash them, and then maybe, but not just a double axe handle and then a quick pin. I thought the ending was a bit too quick. So if I had anything, I hate the double count out, and you should have had Ultimate Warrior beat on those 2 guys a bit more. But that's just my problem. I thought the ending seemed a bit too quick, a bit too easy. But again, that's just me. The second match, they did this again. That was something I did not like in the first Survivor Series. They did it again. The 20-man battle, 5 tag teams versus 5 tag teams. And yeah, take like a couple breaths just to get through them. The Powers of Pain, the Warlord and the Barbarian, the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Mark Jannetty, the British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid, the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, and the Young Stallions, Jim Powers and Paul Roma, versus Demolition, Axe and Smash, the Brain Busters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, the Bolsheviks, Nikolai Volkov and Boris Zukov, the Fabulous Rujos, Raymond and Jock, and the Conquistadors, Uno and Dos. And these matches are just way too long, especially this one. This one was 40-some minutes long. I mean, I swear, with all the stuff before and after, it was like 49 minutes long. I know this says the match is 42 minutes long, but the going up there, because you got to introduce each team, and then the stuff afterward, because this is where pretty much the big story was. Mr. Fuji, the manager of Demolition, held the rope so that one of them flew out and got counted out. And like, why'd you do that? You're our manager. And then the manager went to Powers of Pain, so that now the Powers of Pain, who became the Soul Survivors, they became a bad guy, and now Demolition would become a good guy. Or good guys. But, man, it just... 49 minutes just to have that build up for later, it just... for WrestleMania or whatever, but... it's a long match. I mean, it's 42 minutes, but with all this stuff, it was literally about 49 minutes total, and it's just... And another thing that sucks is that this one had a double disqualification. The Rockers, they were a great tag team, Shawn Michaels and Mark Jannetty, keep them as long as you can, because they can do a lot of stuff, but no, they get into a fight with the Brain Busters, and they did double DQ. I hate that shit. But one of the Rujos gets eliminated by Bret Hart in a small package. Jim Powers gets eliminated by Boris Zukov in a reverse crossbody. Boris Zukov gets eliminated by Mark Jannetty in a sunset flip. Bret Hart gets eliminated by Tully Blanchard because Hart applied a German suplex, but Hebner counted Bret Hart's shoulders. The Rockets of Brain Busters got a double DQ. Smash took out Dynamite Kid, pinfall after a clothesline, after Dynamite missed a headbutt off the top rope. Smash got counted out after Mr. Fuji pulled the rope down and Smash fell to the outside. And Uno, one of the conquistadors, got eliminated by the Barbarian after a diving headbutt. So the length kind of bothers me, but I don't mind Demolition, Powers of Pain, sort of those bids drawn. Pretty much, uh, people who are not as cool as Legion of Doom. Like, Legion of Doom is somewhere else, and you guys ripped them off until they were later get into the WWF. So it's pretty much what they were. But I mean, I like the Hard Foundation. I like the Rockers. It was nice to see them in there. So that was fun. It's just the length of it, and I will admit, it also didn't help, to be fair, that in that match my DVD was fucking up, so I couldn't see some of it. So it's not really fair to complain about it too much. So, because my DVD was fucking up at points on that one match for some reason, it was okay for what it was. It did feel long though. And then the third match, you had Andre the Giant, Rick Rude, Dino Bravo, Mr. Perfect, and Harley Race versus Jim Duggan, Jake the Snake, Scott Casey, Ken Patera, and Tito Santana. And who the fuck was Scott Casey? I didn't know who the hell this guy was, Scott Casey. He's pretty much a jobber that was there to lose to people like the Iron Sheik and Honky Tonk Man. Oh, substituting for an injured B. Brian Blair. So not much to him. And this match, I don't know. I mean, Rick Rude gives a rude awakening to Ken Patera, and then Dino Bravo gives a side suplex to Scott Casey, but Tito Santana gives a flying forearm smash to Harley Race. Then Tito Santana gets eliminated by Andre the Giant after he sat on Tito Santana. Jim Duggan gets disqualified because he stupidly uses a 2x4. And pretty much is Jake the Snake Roberts by himself. And there's like Rick Rude, Andre the Giant, Mr. Perfect, and Dino Bravo. So, but at least, like Jake the Snake is screwed. He can't really win. But he's trying the best that he can. So that's what I liked about the matches. I like Jake the Snake, and he's doing the best that he can. And he is able to do a DDT on Rick Rude and get the pinfall 1, 2, 3. Because by this point, Rick Rude had Jake the Snake's wife, her face on his pants, which was a fun thing for a villain to do. And Jake the Snake got his revenge here, where he did the DDT and pinned Rick Rude 1, 2, 3 to take him out of there. And also by this point, Andre the Giant hated him because there was something happened where Jake the Snake came out with his snake and scared Andre the Giant into a heart attack. And so that's why Andre the Giant absolutely hates Jake the Snake. And that's why later on in this match, he's just choking the shit out of him and is refusing to let go. And so Andre gets disqualified, which will lead to a WrestleMania match between Andre and Jake the Snake, which I think Big John Studd was the referee at. And so, Jake the Snake Roberts got to do some fun stuff. Mr. Perfect, nice to see him in there. But, yeah, of course, Jake the Snake loses because Andre choked the shit out of him and did a headbutt, and then Mr. Perfect comes in and pins him 1, 2, 3. So, Mr. Perfect and Dino Bravo win. So it is what it is. And then the last match, it was a fun match, but one bit of bullshit I didn't care for, and that is First off, let me get to who's in the match. The Mega Powers holding Randy Savage, Hercules, Coco Beware, and Hillbilly Jim versus Akeem and Big Boss Man, Ted DiBiase, Haku, and the Red Rooster. The Red Rooster, it seemed like, hey, let's fuck with this guy. We won't call you the Red Rooster and have this stupid thing on your head. And of course, he is the first to get pinned because Randy Savage does a flying elbow drop on him, which that was cool to see. But then Akeem, again, he used to be the one-man gang, takes out Hillbilly Jim. This was kind of weird because this was sort of a repeat of SummerSlam. Because SummerSlam, Big Boss Man and Coco Beware fought each other. And once again, Big Boss Man takes him out the same way. That Boss Man Slam is like, again, well, Coco Beware, he's only there, he's a jobber. He's a glorified jobber. He's there to lose. Coco Beware never wins. I mean, yeah, he did that song, Pile Driver. But that's all you don't get, Coco, because you're the one who's going to get pile drived every time you have a match. Because, again, anytime you see Coco Beware, it's like he's going to lose. And he always loses. But, yeah, I like the Big Boss Man. Hercules gets beat by $1 Million Man because he got distracted by Virgil, who's with $1 Million Man, and gets him in a schoolboy. But this was fun. Randy Savage sneaks up on him, does the same thing to $1 Million Man, and takes him out. So it was actually fun. You know, Randy Savage, who is the champion, takes out 2 people, as it should be, because he's the champion. But this is where I then didn't care for it, because it's pretty much after this. Big Boss Man and Akeem, they're both out because pretty much what they do is they take Hulk Hogan and they handcuff him and beat him up, so they both get out of there. And of course, it's because let's not have those guys lose, because the Mega Powers are going to fight them later, and that's where the shit's going to hit the fan. And the Mega Powers are going to turn on each other, and it's going to lead to WrestleMania 5. But it's like, okay, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage never get the one-up on Big Boss Man and Akeem. I mean, I guess technically in that match, I think Hulk Hogan won. If I remember, I can't remember. Was that Saturday night's main event? I can't remember, but either way, getting back to this, yeah, Big Boss Man and Akeem handcuff Hogan to the ropes so he can't get to Macho to tag him. And they both get counted out, disqualified. I'm like, oh, great. You know, it's a Survivor Series, and 2 of them are just gone just like that. Okay. Miss Elizabeth is able to get the keys, unlock Hogan. Macho Man's getting beat up, goes back, tags Hogan. Hogan does a leg drop on Haku. They win. And that's where you see more seeds planted for the big fight WrestleMania 5. Because Hogan is hugging Miss Elizabeth, and Macho Man's looking, has this look on his face like, what the hell is this about? Which, I mean, considering you can kind of understand where Macho Man's coming from. The way Hogan was hugging her and carrying her around, and you know, Hogan does take the spotlight. Let's be honest. So it's kind of where you can kind of see where Macho Man's coming from. But overall, it was a fun enough match. I just, you know, the ending I didn't care for, but it was a fun enough match. So overall, I mean, I liked the first one with Ultimate Warrior. 20-man tag team, I mean, it doesn't help that my DVD fucked up on that match, but it was nice to see the Hart Foundation, the Rockers, good tag teams. Demolition, they're okay. But, you know, it felt very long. The one with Jake the Snake and Andre, it was nice to see Jake the Snake in there, do a DDT on Rick Rude. But, of course, Jake the Snake had to lose, because, again, he's up against, like, 4 guys, so... To be honest, Jake the Snake had a shitty team. I think that's what happened. Jake the Snake, you just had a shitty team. Again, I know it's all fake, folks. I already know that, but just I'm looking at storyline. Like, man, he had a shitty team. And then the last one, again, cool to see Randy Savage take out 2 people, do the flying elbow drop. But yeah, the ending I didn't care for. But other than that, didn't mind Survivor Series 88. I say that a lot because just whatever. Anyway, it's kind of weird talking about this because I already talked about this a year ago, so I'll probably put a link down below to hear more of my thoughts a year ago. But again, for continuity's sake, I figure I should at least say a couple things. And another cool thing is that it's back to Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura together, because in the other pay-per-views it was Vince McMahon and Jesse Ventura for Royal Rumble, and then it was Gorilla Monsoon and Superstar Billy Graham for SummerSlam. And it just made me, again, hammer home that Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura, they work best together. No Superstar Billy Graham, no Vince McMahon. These two together, Monsoon and Ventura, work well together. So they definitely work the best. But yeah, didn't mind Survivor Series for what it was. So either way, thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for more. Later.